Dear Mother, 10 years have passed since I last saw you. Tender and fragile as you always were, I'm sure you're unable to sleep these days because of me. Separated from you by barbed wire, I also lie awake at night, unable to sleep. I entered the People's Army as soon as I graduated from middle school. You ran after me, crying, "My youngest, my baby, please, can't you at least stay with your mother?" You wrinkled your eyes as they welled up with tears, but I felt I should act like a man, so I pretended to be calm and indifferent. To tell you the truth, though, I also didn't want to leave your side. As a soldier, I would strap dozens of heavy communication lines to my shoulders and do my best to push through every task that was given to me. When I received letters from you, Mother, I rarely replied because I thought I needed to be a brave, capable man. If I had known our destiny would separate us like this, I would have written so much more to you. During that terrible time several years ago, when the famine began and people kept dying from starvation, I heard that Father had gotten permission to go to China to ask his relatives for help. Since I was in my early 20s at that time, I just thought I'd be able to share cool new items from China once my father came back. However, as Father was delayed in China and he didn't return to North Korea by the assigned date, the authorities grew disturbed. What's more, it turned out that Father had met his relatives from South Korea and China too. Even if it was just his own brother, meeting someone from South Korea was considered criminal in the North. My father was ordered to be arrested, and Father had no choice but to leave his family behind and escape to South Korea. As he knew that this choice would result in severe political consequences for his family in the North, Father said that he turned his back on his homeland, weeping with agony. Soon, the fire fell my way too. The authorities called me to say that I was discharged from military service because of my parents' misdeeds. Carrying an empty backpack, I was boarding a train when I met a messenger from my older brother. "Taeyeon, if you go there, you and I might end up in a concentration camp. Your big brother told me you must cross the Yalu River into China and find a way into South Korea no matter what. Don't look back, you must live." So, without even being able to tell you or my brother goodbye, I jumped into the river. On the road, I met a kind man who took me to my relatives where I could stay for a short time. My father, who had been there before me, had prepared my way by paying a lot of money for my passage to South Korea. Thus, I was able to arrive relatively safely. Now, I am living with my father in the South. Mother, the last day I saw you, I was so happy. You had pulled up ragweed in the mountains to feed our pig, which you sold in the market. With that money, you went to the foreign goods market in Pyongyang to buy some bottles of beer, fruit, and baked goods before visiting my military unit. I remember the way your hands trembled as you unwrapped the items. You took me to a shady place beneath the trees where no one could see us. I'll never forget how happy you looked as you watched me eat and drink the delicious food. Despite never even eating a bowl of rice properly, you lavished your hard-earned money on me without a word of complaint. When I said, "Mother, you seem to have grown smaller," you said, "Silly boy, everyone gets smaller as they grow older. We're just waiting for the day until you can return safe and sound to our side." You pretended that everything was fine, but later I heard that you had become so weak and sick, you often had to lie down to rest. How immature and naive I had been. Even telling you that we are eating and living well in South Korea seems like a sin. Every year on May 8, we celebrate Parents' Day. On that day, I always put a gift for you every year in a trunk. If only we could meet before the trunk gets too full. Mother, until the day we meet again, please, please stay healthy. Your youngest son, Taeyeon, who loves you very much.